Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna do a quick like little conspiracy theory today. It's raining out, so I'm just gonna make this quick. And yeah. So today's theory is literally about human evolution and how we're created. So this is pretty much something I just wrote down, and this is my theory on how we were created. You know, ancient times and all that. So this is a quick rundown. So this is more so just so you could think about it, not really to like be spoken on too much. So I'm just gonna read it, and then that's pretty much gonna be it. So let's get into it. So human evolution and how we're created. Humans come from aliens, whether we were made or evolved. But what I do know is I know we was created in a petri dish by alien scientists. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe what Rashad Jamal said, and I didn't finish that video because of how he said it. And then literally like a few days ago, I literally just thought of this out of nowhere. And I was like, we had to be made in a petri dish. And then I was like, you know what? Now I can take what he says and connect it together because, you know what I'm saying? It all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like at first I was like, that just sounds like a whole bunch of bullshit. But now I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It makes a lot of sense. Okay. So the oh my gosh. So the hieroglyphs were created as a way for them revealing the suffering on earth due to them making an enslavement of the human race. So pretty much like aliens enslaved the human race during ancient Egypt. So like Mesopotamian times when they were like on the Nile River and stuff like that. It's raining, so this is definitely gonna get wet. So I'm gonna have to cut this off. But yeah. Let's see. These ancient tabs also withheld spells, magic recipes, and other formulas. They even revealed necromancy. If you don't know what necromancy is, it's pretty much like a form of magic. You can like pretty much like it's like conjuring up like a spirit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like instead of conjuring up a spirit, it's like you can literally bring someone from the dead with like black magic, witchcraft. It's like it's possible, it's real. There's science, there's classified CIA documents and all that of people doing shit like that. They're not gonna tell you that, but yeah, if you want to know more about necromancy, look into that. They even revealed necromancy being done by the gods or aliens on humans and aliens. Or oh my god, so that's confirmation because I did not mean to say that. They even revealed necromancy being done by the gods or aliens on humans and animals. So also the aliens. So like back to what I was saying. Either the humans created the aliens or we evolved from aliens, or, you know what I'm saying? Aliens is somewhere in our like DNA, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be closer to our DNA than they like to explain, meaning some bloodlines come from alien DNA or descent, whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? But not everybody comes from alien DNA. So yeah. They wanted to make sure the new knowledge is told to others in the future. So pretty much they had a whole bunch of hieroglyphs and stuff like that because they were trying to explain what was actually going on during ancient Egypt, during Mesopotamian days, because they couldn't really explain it to everybody, you know what I'm saying? So they kind of just had to just like, you know what I'm saying, almost like the time capsule type thing. Like they kind of just had to just write it out, leave it there, hope someone runs into it. Also, if you look at the hieroglyphs, they're not actually letters. They like to say that each, the snake and all that, they're different letters. No, they're not. It's literally, it's clear as day, a message that you're supposed to read just like that. They just don't want you to know that because then everybody can figure it out. It's literally magic spells. So if you really look at it, like, you could tell, like, especially if you learn about necromancy, look into necromancy after this. If you like what I'm saying, look into necromancy. If you look into necromancy, you can literally clearly see that the ancient hieroglyphs literally shows with a serious raw thought, especially the gods and goddesses when they're in the scripture. I don't know about the kings and queens and all that, but what I do know is when you see the Egyptian gods and goddesses in a hieroglyph on a tablet, usually it's always relating from human to some shape-shifting almost, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're human and then it's like almost like equals, you know what I'm saying, same thing but with like a dog head, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they have a dog head type thing. It's not all of a sudden. That's necromancy. That's what they were really doing. They were putting the spells on the tab so someone could realize, hey, this works. It's like scientists. Okay, this is the mathematical equation. This is how it works. So I'm going to put it out there so someone else can find it, use this equation, and also be able to take it to the future with them. Because obviously if they don't leave it around, how is someone supposed to know if they're not telling people? So what I'm getting is someone was writing these ancient hieroglyph tabs. They're writing the hieroglyphics on the tabs, and they're writing messages so we can literally be aware, because they didn't want to tell people what's actually possible, or what they're capable of, because they didn't want everybody getting the power. Even to now, same thing with New World Order and everything. You know what I'm saying? The manipulation, matrix, all that, it's actually a good thing. Even though like they could do it a little better, it's actually a good thing. That's why I don't like to tell everything at once too, because that's why I be getting mad when the government be coming for me, because bitch, I'm actually on your side. But anyway, so like well, I'm not on your side, but you know what I'm saying? I'm on your side to some extent. So anyway, like, yeah. So it's like they literally did that so that way not everybody would have the power to just bring, you know, back random animals and humans back to life. Because obviously, like, you know what I'm saying, if everybody knew that in ancient Egypt, don't you think every king and queen would have been alive? We would still have kings and queens to this day in America. Europe, it doesn't matter. Africa, like literally everywhere. Everywhere would have kings and queens. America wouldn't even be America. It would literally still be black. If we could, you know what I'm saying? So there's a reason why they did this. And even then, that just shows how much power the kings and queens had, because the fact that they literally had the power to bring back people and they didn't just shows like they were literally enslaving them. I also feel like they enslaved the race, the kings and queens, when they were enslaving them, building having them build pyramids and structures and all that. I feel like that was part of like the alien part that I was talking about. Like I feel like that was more so they wanted to figure something out with the aliens, or you know what I'm saying. I'm also getting like king and queens have the most alien DNA. So like everyone else might not have alien DNA, but the kings and queens usually typically have some type of alien, Anunnaki, you know, not really Greys, but like Anunnaki bloodline, stuff like that. So which is like obviously everybody knows that. If you look into that, like, you know what I'm saying, that's not something like I just found out. One sec, there's bad water on my phone. But yeah, so anyway, what I was saying, sorry. So yeah, it's like they literally have these tabs and stuff to let you know without letting you know too much. It's the same thing with the CIA, classified documents. They have it out there. You can look it up, foil of information, all that shit. But at the same time, they're going to hide it. Just like they tell you there's aliens, but then they're going to still hide the information though. You know what I'm saying? Just like they tell you can astral project, leave your body, and literally go to a different dimension, realm, astral realm, you know what I'm saying, and go back. Classified documents confirming this shit. But they're not going to keep telling you this, and they're going to still tell you believe in Jesus, believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that funny? So anyway, my point is, these motherfuckers know what they're doing. So back to the kings and queens thing. So they had them build these ancient structures and stuff like that. You also got to think about how fast they're building them and how, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the ancient technology so much, because when they make it seem like, oh my God, like how did they get up there? I'm pretty sure they just, you know, took some wood like that. You know what I'm saying? Made like a pole, you know, stack it up. And then when they stack it up, they probably put, you know, pieces of twigs and stuff and tie it around, just like any, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like almost like making a fishing pole out of wood. How do you make that? You put a whole bunch of wood together, you know what I'm saying? You tie something from nature, use something as a string from nature, and you bind them together. It's like Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? You use all the elements and you just make the elements stronger by combining elements. You know what I'm saying? That's also magic. So that's that's the message right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you combine elements, the magic is stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because there's different elements involved. But that doesn't always mean the magic's always going to be stronger, because sometimes when you combine elements, it also backfires. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when you build something. You could just build something with one object. It'll work out perfectly fine, but then once you start using other things to build it with, it might make it less durable or not as durable as it would have been without that. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. Okay. They wanted to make sure the new knowledge is told to others in the future, or so someone can come across it without speaking. At one point, almost everyone had to know how to read them, or at least were able to learn. Oh wait, hold up, I said that completely wrong. At one point, almost everyone had to know how to read them, but this isn't entirely true, because not everyone could read and write. I thought about that after I said that. So then I said, at least those who were able to learn and read were able to read them. You know what I'm saying? But even then, that's my point. Not everybody could learn and, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody could learn, read, have like knowledge. Like some people were just straight up just dumb, like just born. Whatever their mom tells them is whatever their mom tells them. They never learn nothing more than that, even if they're alive 200 years. So they have 200 years worth of information, but they still might be the stupidest person compared to a 10-year-old king. You know what I'm saying? So it's like crazy. So about that, this is the crazy part. So even if they weren't able to read and write, how the fuck were they reading this shit? How the fuck were they telling other people? Because this obviously means the kings and the queens were the only ones that knew how to read this shit. So how the fuck did we get this far to even know information about hieroglyphs? Exactly. Because the aliens have the knowledge and they're still existing. The giants, the other beings on the earth still have this knowledge and they're still existing. And on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, motherfuckers know. Motherfuckers know. Don't let them fool you. They know. The thing is, the people that couldn't read and write clearly could read the hieroglyphs, and that's my point. Clearly, they could read the hieroglyphs, even if it was letters, to some degree without the letters. You know what I'm saying? It's like scrying almost. It's like they were probably just scrying the messages. Also, how do you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. Even like the temples, like the pyramids and all that. That's when it gets weird. So y'all can make the little, you know, the wood and tie the string together and all that shit, and then make the fucking you know, the like wooden cranes and stuff like that. That makes sense. Okay, that's one thing. But now another thing is, why was it so much more complicated in the pyramid than outside? Why was there so much more technology on the inside than the outside? Why was it so much harder to use or obtain or understand? Why was it easier to, you know what I'm saying? And then guess where all the hieroglyphs and stuff usually were, right? I'm actually not entirely sure about this one. Ooh, I just choked. But I'm pretty confident most of the hieroglyphs were inside the pyramid. So that's my point. Where the, you know what I'm saying? The kings and queens is aliens, my boy. If you don't got the motherfucking message, you're not gonna get it. You just gonna have to keep watching this video over, because this is clear as day. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you gotta think about it. Mesopotamia is closely, oh my god. So I just shared my video the other day on my old channel, Goddess K, and I said ancient knowledge. In that video, I literally mentioned how we literally went from hunting and gathering to, you know, this civilization, you know what I'm saying? And like literally we come from Nethandrials and stuff like that. So I was saying that you could clearly see in people's facial features and stuff like that the Nethandrial DNA, especially in black people. So I also think Nethandrials are related to aliens and have alien DNA. So that's what I also put in that video. So you need to go back and watch that, because I definitely I talked a little too much. I you know what I'm saying? So y'all might want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? That's why nobody even seen it still. Like, but yeah. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I even talked about the tree of life. Black people, they want to cut down all these big trees because, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's like a power source. It's an energy. It's a higher vibration. If it's held that energy for over 120, you know, plus years, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine like this park. Say this is a high vibrational park. Now, if they cut down the tree, the vibration is going to go down so much lower because they're removing that wood. You know, if they leave the dead wood in here, it might, you know, last a little longer. Just like, you know, in Avatar, when they cut the tree down, like you can see the power like slowly just draining out because, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the power was there. It's just once they fucked with the tree, that's when it slowly started draining. But it was still there until it just completely just died. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. So yeah, you see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going with this. So Nethandrial DNA, they come from aliens. Actually, I think Nethandrials actually don't come from aliens. I actually think they're like really closely related, and they have like intertwined in the DNA. Like some Nethandrials, you know what I'm saying, have alien DNA, some don't, you know what I'm saying, mating with other species and stuff like that. Like giants and stuff like that. But also angels. They also mated with angels. Let's not forget about that. Aliens, angels, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. So anyway, so what I was saying was Nethandrials. So even then, I feel like as old as that was and as far back as that was in the time period, this wasn't really black or white. This was just more so, I'm a king, you're a queen. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck off my land, stay the fuck here, go to another country because we're gonna kill you, you know what I'm saying? Like, type shit. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? this is like one of the first writings, you know what I'm saying? The first forms of writing. The first forms of scripture at that. So that, you know what I'm saying? So if they have any like hieroglyphs and they're trying to say it's of religion, you should actually look into that. Someone wants to study religion, you should actually look into that because, like I said, it's not that hard to read. When I was younger, I used to get so pissed. Like when I was in elementary school, when they taught us about hieroglyphs and all that shit, I literally was like obsessed with like Egyptian culture like my whole life. But like middle school, elementary school, like I was overly like over the top obsessed. Like I had Egyptian, bitch. I want a cat. Bitch, I wanted my eyes to look like this naturally. I mean, my eyes do look like that naturally. But you know what I'm saying? But like I want to look like this more. I was like obsessed. I was mad. Like I was mad that my dad was from a different part of Africa. I was like, what the fuck? Like, but yeah. So like it's like I used to always want to read it. You know what I'm saying? And understand it so bad. And it's like they would give us the little letter chart and they'll be like, oh, the snake means B and the little scroll means it. That's not what it means. I used to think that all the time, and then I used to try and decipher it so hard in class. And they're like, oh, if you could decipher it, I'll give you a da-da-da, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as an example, like, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly, this is how to decipher it, da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? And even then, they would give us, like, a fake one, like, you know, because, like, 4th, 5th grade. But anyway, like, yeah. So it was just, like, I would try so hard to like decipher it outside of what they're actually teaching me. Like I would try to decipher it through just the pictures. And then I remember in class one time, I literally started reading it and I'm like, I think it means this. And then she literally said it. And I was right. And then I got creeped out because I didn't know how I knew that. And then I instantly just thought God. I was like, oh, it's Jesus. Because I used to believe in Jesus and shit like that. So I was just like, oh, it's Jesus. Jesus just told me that. I didn't even think about the fact that I probably just like, you know, cracked the shit. I was just like, oh, Jesus told me that. But like, let's get into it. So, or let's get out of it. We about to close this up. So, yeah, they wanted to make sure the knowledge is told to others in the future or someone. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I worded it like this. Or it just looks weird. Okay, so they just wanted to make sure that someone in the future pretty much knew what the fuck was going on. At one point, almost everyone had to know how to read them. At least those who were able to learn and read. The necromancy spells were darker, but made to show it's possible to do the unnatural. Because that's why they had to hide it too, because they couldn't let everybody know it's easy to manipulate the natural into the quote-unquote unnatural of what was told was impossible. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to know that the possible is the impossible through manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Through the energy, the frequency, the vibrations, all that. So, yeah. So the necromancy spells were darker. I'm sorry. You know they be trying to fuck with me. So every time I come out here and motherfuckers start seeing me and shit, notice how I start looking around a little more and then all of a sudden I can't talk no more? Anyway, so yeah. The necromancy spells were darker, but made to show it's possible to do the unnatural and see what they could do with the unnatural, which was use them on Earth and other planets. Or should I say behind the walls? Because like I said, I'm not an astrologist. I don't really believe in astrology like that. What I mean is literally on the other side of the firmament. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, they say, okay, so there's, like, a theory, like, oh, my God, I can't really say that. So there's a theory that, the Earth is flat, right? So the Earth is flat like this, apparently, and then there's layers. There's another theory where there's, like, it's just flat, and then there's a theory where it's, like, there's layers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Australia, beyond Australia and Antarctica and all this stuff. There's different layers of the walls, you know what I'm saying? There's different walls. So when you go past that wall, you see other beings like giants, yetis, angels, Anunnaki, aliens, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing megalodons and shit, you know what I'm saying? There's also a theory that, oh, my bad. There's also a theory that, like, if you go in the water, okay, this is gonna sound crazy. If you go in the water and you go under, like, beneath the surface, you can come out on the other side or some weird shit. I don't know about that one, but something about that was, like, something was urging me to say that, so someone needs to look into that too. But, like, no, like, it's crazy because, like, even the ocean, we used to only know 1% when I was in elementary school. That was, like, 2005 to 2011. And then even then, by 2011, it was like 3%. Then by the end of middle school, it was like 7%. Now it's probably like 8%, 14%, maybe 10%. Honestly, like 10, 11%, you know what I'm saying? Max out of 100. Anyway, so pretty sure they got that in the scrolls and everything else, telling you what the fuck's under the water. But it's all myth. It was everything they tell you, mermaids and all that shit. They tell you what the fuck's going on, but it's a myth. Even though niggas was bugging out, like I get it, like they didn't really know about drugs and stuff like that, so they could have like accidentally like ate a mushroom thinking they're eating regular mushrooms, started bugging out, and was like, oh my god, I saw an alien, you know what I'm saying? Or I saw a shark, and the shit was like 700 feet long, you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna be just tripping out or consuming drugs and confused and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this shit's crazy. So yeah, they just want to prove the impossible is possible, pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? People like forget that just because someone says something does not mean that's just how it's gonna go, how it always is, da da da. Like people forget you can think for yourself. But like about the walls, so like it's like they also wanted people to know that those creatures come from behind the walls. So meaning like if it's not necromancy they're doing to like make it like you know, go from human to like a human with a bird head or some crazy shit, which is actually one of the gods. Specifically Thoth. Yes. No. Ra. Ra is the one with the bird head. Thoth is like a dog head. I forgot what it's called. It's like a canine. It's like a specific type of dog. So anyway, like yeah. So yeah. Anyway, my point is behind the walls. So it's like they want you to know that some of those creatures or the gods come from behind the walls, or you know what I'm saying? They're not actually, you know what I'm saying? They're not in space. They're not on planets. Okay? Yes, they might got UFOs and the spaceships and all that, but that doesn't mean they're in space. For all you know, the government could have signed a deal with the aliens to literally manipulate us and fly around in spaceships to make us think there is an outer space, just so we wouldn't think there is walls. You see what I'm saying now, right? Okay, so let's keep it pushing, because yeah. Okay, my phone's wet, so hold on. Okay, so I'm also getting the aliens and the gods are the same. So we like, even if we are the human race, we come from aliens. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like worded it so weird in the beginning, because we might not have any connection to aliens. Like we have some type of bloodline now because we've all mixed up and all that, if it's possible, which I'm pretty sure it's possible. So, but it's like regardless, the gods come from aliens, or the gods are aliens. Let's not put it that way. The gods are aliens because the gods created the alien as a physical body. You know what I'm saying? A vessel to just like come into so they can like physically communicate in the physical realm that they created. So yeah. Okay. I'm also okay. I already said it. I don't know for sure if they just shapeshift into certain aliens or species, or certain alien species, or they were created, or they created the alien race before the human race. But now I'm starting to think we can't get much on hieroglyphs because the gods are literally revealing where the aliens came from more than us. So literally, I'm getting like, we literally can't get like information on hieroglyphs for real. Like, cause as long as they've been studying it, like you telling me y'all don't, you haven't cracked no information. Clearly they cracked the information and they're not giving it to us. So even if it's not exactly how I'm explaining it, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Clearly there's something in there they don't want us knowing about. Like even when you're in school and all that, your teacher didn't say it, but they clearly hinted at when you're in elementary school. They clearly don't want us to know what the fuck these shits mean. So don't go looking into it too much. But just, you know, they're apparently letters and it makes no fucking sense, but we have to learn about it and teach you it. And Mesopotamia, Nile River, Fertile Crescent, yeah, passes the exam. Social studies, grade 6. So anyway, yeah, that's my little spiel on like human evolution, aliens, and yeah, all that good shit. Hieroglyphs, ancient Egypt, evolution. What else is it called? Yeah, pretty much overall evolution. Human evolution, environmental evolution, 222 on the clock, confirmation. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I want to get into. Like, comment, share.